We listened to what they said, and this new legislation, C22, balances the needs of law enforcement with privacy and civil rights of Canadians. I want to be clear about what C22 is not. It is not about surveillance of Canadians going about their daily lives. It is about keeping Canadians safe in the online space.
This essentially sounds like a modernization of wiretap laws, so I'd like you to explain how Canadians can be confident that if they've done nothing wrong, they're not going to be caught up in this, because it sounds like it's quite sweeping authority.
It's actually not. So let me just frame this. There's three major components of this bill that will enable law enforcement to obtain information. The first piece is a very simple question of yes or no that will be restricted just to telcos. So, for example, if you have a cell phone number that is attached to company A, this bill will enable law enforcement to contact that A company and say, is this individual or is this phone number attached to your service? That is done without warrant, and that is a very simple task. So if you go back 30 years, and I, as a lawyer, I've had to do this. If I had somebody's phone number, I would go into the library and look at a book called Bowers, still in the library right now, and you would in fact be able to find not just the individual's phone address, but also their names and a lot more revealing details. This doesn't even go as far as that. All this does is enable law enforcement to see if this phone number is attached to this company. That's the first piece. The second piece is when judicial oversight is in place. So we will be able to obtain subscriber information, so basic information about the individual whose phone number has been identified with that company. And the information would be the name, the address, potentially an email address. And it is limited to that, and that is based on a reasonable grounds to suspect legal standard with judicial authorization. So it's not done arbitrarily, it's done with a judge overseeing the approval of that order. The third element, which is essentially what's there right now, will enable law enforcement to go into prepare an authorization based on a reasonable grounds to believe basis, and be able to obtain additional information. For example, if there's text messages on extortion that was sent on Sunday at 3 in the afternoon, they'll be able to get information such as that in order for them to conclude the investigation. It in no way enables additional powers to law enforcement. What it does is allow law enforcement to have a tool that minimizes the initial process of identifying where this phone number or email address or account is attached to, just in the digital telecommunication space.